UK girls like me a lot. You know, Nigerian girls, they go say Yankee boy, ugh. And it's true, they were like, Yankee boy, who is this guy?
God.
But as soon as I came to the UK, yo, where you from? Yo, I used to live in Atlanta and all that. Oh, you from America? Yeah. What up, people? It's your favorite podcast, man. Back again with another one. I am Michael Sonario.
And I'm very welcome, Koya.
And you are welcome to Menisms. And we are at the season finale, ladies and gentlemen. We have made it this far, episode 50. We said that, right? Episode 50. Many people have tried to get to episode 50, but we have made it, damn it, in a year. So we thank God. Yeah. We thank you guys for subscribing to us, for riding with us, for following us throughout this journey. We appreciate all of you. Thank you. Continue to subscribe to everything. Even though this is the season finale, we are still going to be coming back with even more content, even more surprises. I mean, before we even get to the topic, like, how do you feel, bro? 50 episodes, man. Not many people can say they've gotten to 50 episodes.
Yeah, it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey, but it feels like so much has happened that, like, you know, you lose track of time. You just kind of feel the entire process happening. And, you know, when you look back, it's
I mean, let me even take it. 4 people say I'm doing cool, but I'm just tired. Don't mind me, man. But I bet, can you take the show? But yeah, we've tried, man. We've done well. Well done to you, obviously. Like, we've tried, man. 50 episodes in the book. I definitely know we have to do something where we get people to tell us their favorite episode, favorite moments.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
We definitely have to do one of those highlight reels that show all of our stuff from the season. But yeah, man, continue to subscribe to everything. We have a very interesting topic to close off the season, though.
Yes, we do.
And it's something we've been talking about a lot off camera because it is happening to us in our lives. Every day we glowing up, but, you know, there's a stage that started in our glow up that, you know, helped us transition or helped form us into the men that we are. And it's not just us, people. Everybody has a glow up. Glow up can be financial glow up, it can be a physical glow up, it can be a mentality glow up. Glow up is in so many different forms, but obviously when you hear glow up, the first thing you talk about is looks and all that. So I know for me personally, I know both of us, I would say, I can't say for both of us, let me not say, I never see your childhood photos, so I don't. Actually, I've seen one. Obviously, it's just different. Also, I think for both of us, if you see us without a beard, it's like, you know, yeah, you're not used to it. But I would say for me, the glow up has been a very special topic for me because I've glowed up a few times. And like my glow up now, especially, like if you look at me like a few years, not even 10 years ago, because 20 is when it was starting in that phase, but, you know, secondary school time, like I looked, oh my God. We thank you, Jesus. We just thank you. Like I was cute as a kid. And then I had maybe like a teenage phase where I was like that cute boy. Like every girl used to just friend zone me. Like I was cute. I wasn't ugly. I was cute, but I was small. So it was like every girl used to just friend zone me. Then when I came to Nigeria, I had that small sauce of he's a Niger guy, but he's a Yankee guy. Everybody's like Yankee boy. But then again, he's all right. He's cute, but never just that stage of going up. Then when the Lord had it, university. Oh, Father Lord, thank you. That's when all of a sudden, you know, by the time we got to first year and all that, you know, started growing a bit more now. Then it's confidence too. The confidence started coming in like when I started like playing sports, because like in my first year of uni, I was first team basketball, first team football, best record in the whole country at one point. So it's like I'm popular now. So confidence is coming. I've grown physically. Confidence, they go. But when I entered university, the thing is, before university, I always was around girls my whole life. Like, I've been around girls. Even, like, my grandma, she runs an all-girls school, so I was the only boy there at one point, but I was being friend-zoned by every single girl there. I can't lie to you. But that glow-up was when the physical came in. Jesus. What a transition. And we'll get into that. But, you know, just giving a brief history of how glow-up is. For you, though, let me ask you now, when would you say you noticed your glow up? When did your glow up start for you?
So I think my proper glow up started. And when I say my proper glow up, I mean like
the one.
My life took a turn.
Uh-huh.
So I think I would really say it was in 2013 when I kicked off my fashion business. So I'll say 2013 when I kicked off my fashion business because so in uni we weren't allowed to keep beards, and so I couldn't even see the full effect of what
fair.
kind of beard I could have, right? So after I left uni in 2011, of course I started keeping my beard a little more now, but my beard still wasn't full. It was just a beard,
Yeah.
And so, although of course the beard at that time in 2011 was still like a good looking beard, and so that was still a bit of a glow up, right? People who saw me in school and then suddenly, 3 months after uni or 6 months after uni, and all of a sudden I have a beard, and it's like, oh wow, so this is all the potential that the school wasn't letting me show, stuff like
Yeah.
that, right? So, but the real glow up started when I started my fashion business. So I was already a bit fashionable in school, but like starting my fashion business just changed my whole fashion completely.
Oh, why is that?
And like, why did it change the fashion completely?
Yeah.
Because now I was in more control of like the kind of colors I wanted. Because I've always loved colors, right? And owning my fashion business made me now create those colors that I wanted to wear. And so it was items that you couldn't find easily in Nigeria. And so I was creating these items, and it was just almost like, where's this guy getting his clothes from? Where's he getting stuff like this? This is so daring and so good looking. And so and I started being featured rather on all these fashion pages on Instagram and everything. So it was a moment. In fact, I remember then that my ex found out that I started a fashion business. This was after we had broken up, obviously.
I swear, if you're I wish for those that are listening, I wish you would go and watch the video. What you should see the joy in this boy's face when he's reminiscing about the start of this club. You should see his face just smiling.
Yeah, because that was one aspect of my life that she didn't get to experience.
Yeah.
Right? So when that happened, and I now became this fashionable guy that everybody could resonate with, it was even part of the. So I remember that she found a way to come back into my life again in 2013, 2014. And one of the things she brought up was, oh yeah, I've seen that you have a fashion page now. Everybody keeps sending it to me. That, oh, look what Mariwa is doing now, blah, blah, blah. Right? So it definitely boosted my confidence. At that point, I definitely felt my life like transition. Like I could feel like me move to the next stage in.
So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question now, and you saying that, because I like how you even like you have to tell the backstory to get people to involve. So similar to you now, it's like when I started playing sports in uni, sports in Nigeria is frowned upon. Low-key. It's not frowned upon.
Yeah,
it's
but
not
like
frowned upon. But you know how
the,
socially people be like, you just they play sports. But it's like
as opposed to it being a real thing, yeah.
Like that, same as you now. It's like when people started noticing, like, yo, these teams are the best teams in the UK, or this guy is actually the best player in all teams, and I'm a first year. Boy, the confidence that came, because the thing is, I lost quite a bit of confidence coming to Nigeria, but I gained some. So I lost it whereby you come in as a Yankee guy, come to Nigeria, they're going to break your confidence. Let's just start there, because they're going to test you. Everybody in Nigeria, secondary school, test you. Just like, who's this Yankee guy? So it was broken there. But obviously, I always had sports to help me. But again, sports wasn't too serious. But when you're being recognized on a UK level now, it's like, then obviously physically too. Then you start getting them text messages. Hey, hi. Because I ain't gonna lie to you. Let me ask you this question now with your glow up. Your glow up, did you notice the kind of girls that were hitting you up were different compared to the ones you had before? Because for me, I had a lot of girls that were my friends. Yeah. And yes, I had the girls that had crushes on me. But you see that I would say, like, my first year was weird. Okay, I forgot. I never told this. I told the story. I told the story about how I lost my virginity before on here.
Yes, you
that
did.
was like the start of the glow. Because like I said, when I first came and I saw that UK girls like me a lot, Nigerian girls, they go say Yankee boy, and it's true, they were like, Yankee, but who is this guy? But as soon as I came to the UK, yo, where you from? Yo, I used to live in Atlanta, and they're, you from America? Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yo, those girls turned me into a man. Like, so what about you? Like, what kind of girls do you feel like you were getting before? And when your globe started, what kind of girl do you start seeing after?
So let me say that. So my ex-girlfriend was a very good looking girl, like one of those across the board very good looking, like everybody that saw her thought she was just very good looking, blah blah blah, right? I always felt like I was undeserving because I felt like she was too fine for my level. Yeah, so that's I'm trying to give you a backstory now of how I saw this thing. This was me. Again, like I said, I was collecting my identity, so to say, right? So didn't quite. Now I got to find out people like her, who I thought were too much for me or on a higher level were now the ones texting me, approaching me, making advances towards me when my glow up started. And I started seeing those kinds of people come to me more easily without any effort, without any, like, I didn't have to do anything. They just saw me. I'm like, oh my God, that's a good looking guy. He has a very nice looking suit, very nice looking whatever. He's dressed really well. And that was just it for me. So that one changed the dynamic of like my life generally.
The business.
Yeah, the business, right? So it wasn't by nature the fact of owning the business. It was like the fact that my fashion changed. Like, and I was literally that guy that if I walk into this room now, everybody wants to be like, who is that guy? And
And that's
he is wearing everything I'm dreaming of wearing, that kind of thing, right? So that's what I mean when I say when the business, because when the business started is when that started, right? I was dressing well, but I was limited because it was whatever I was able to acquire within my immediate environment that I could get. And then every time I found myself always frustrated, like, you know what, I wish I had a green suit to go with this. Like, this would have been perfect combination with a green suit. You know what? A nice looking dark brown suit would have been nice with this.
That's the confidence that's starting to show itself when you start saying, "Oh, I can do this, do this."
Exactly. And so I started thinking about like, how can I achieve those means? And I'm like, okay, let me give this a shot. And then when I did, and when I started, in fact, I started using myself as a model for my brand, and that's where like I just realized I would post a picture up. Every single fashion page, just pick it up and feature me. Fashion pages that had like a lot of followers. And then, Instagram was at 2013 then was still like not Instagram the way it is now. So, there was a lot of attention from all that stuff. So, all of that really built my confidence. Of course, this goes without saying that, but I've had other stages of glow up as well, but that was like the proper benchmark.
I'll say for me, by the time I got to second year now, my glow up became very arrogant and cocky. Because remember, first year I said,
I haven't gotten to that stage yet.
Physically, it was starting to change and all that. Like when the glow up for me started, because mine was more physical. Because I already had done activities and done stuff, but seeing that change now, your confidence starts going up. So second year, by the time I ended my second year of uni, now I was like, I'm AC as president now, which is a society in your uni.
Yeah.
I'm, again, one of the top players and all that. I'm throwing all the parties in uni. The attention I was getting, and then that's why I said there was a new confidence. Like I found myself at that stage. So that glow up that happened, boy, you couldn't tell me shit. And it's the same way with me now, boys. Again, it's more calm and mild, but it was more like, yo, because I'm able to do this, like I'm performing outside on the field. Okay, I'm also leading all the black people in my uni. Oh, I'm also throwing all the parties. Yo, kind of women I was being. And that's why I said sometimes I'm happy I had my bad boy stage.
Yeah.
Early, and I'm sure you can relate to it too, because it was like, yo, any girl, what up? Not, and when I say any girl, forgive me, so that sounds a bit, no be every girl, I beg, I stand that today, but it is more of a case like any girl I felt like I could get, I'm going for. And that's why I said that glow up just changed me differently, but it was also a bit of arrogance that I didn't realize during that moment, because it's like my boys will always tell me like the way I'll behave or certain things. Like, so I guess my question is like, is there a point in a glow up? Because again, I'm just using foundational standpoints because we can still get to the older bit, but just so people understand, it's like, is there a point in your glow up you felt like you were on top of the world, or there was a bit of there was arrogance that came with it?
So maybe not in the fashion stage glow up. So I did have another stage. So like I mentioned, there will be another stage of glow up outside that one. And the second stage of glow up that I had came from So it came from like getting. So it's more about like making more money, but not the money part of it per se. It was more about the level of work I was now getting. So let me give you an example. Let's say how you would throw a house party before. And then now you do like a Sunday at Elisha that everybody now knows about, like the entirety of Lagos now. So you know how before maybe only a select few would know about your parties, and then now everybody. So you're not that difference in stage. So that's what I mean. The kind of work I was doing moved from just little projects, small projects to like massive projects, and projects that, if I mention that I did that, everybody's like, "What? You did that?" So that's that shock in being able to confidently say that yes, that was my work, kind of had its negative sides. So because it's like, I knew my worth now. Anybody that approaches me, I did have a bit of a toxic side to me, right? So, and
Yeah, give those details. That's
yes,
what we
that's
want. That's what we want
I'm
to
getting
hear.
to,
Guy, they
please
give
don't
us
kill me,
story.
please.
What was the toxic?
So,
What were you? How
so
were you toxic?
I
Sure.
have had situations where, because of how good looking I know I am now, and somewhat hardworking and successful, I've had people who would approach me or maybe not approach me per se, but where I'm trying to talk to them, they're trying to talk to me, and then when they're trying to move in the direction of I want to date you, I'm like, please. Now I don't tell them to their faces that we can't date because I don't think we're on the same level, but in my head sometimes I thought so. Right. And when I say different level, obviously I'm not talking about maybe poor or rich or whatever. I just feel like, so my tastes are a little higher than you, but I won't say it to the person, but it's what I thought. I'll be honest. I did have that
No,
face.
I mean, I get your standard, because everybody's standard goes up as you go up.
Yes.
And it's not, and again, it sounds harsh, but we're just speaking, everybody has this truth in their head that they don't like to see, because your taste in things, these are not just physical tastes, these are even your taste in food, your taste in clothes, your taste in where you like to go, areas and all that. As you get more successful or exposed to better things, you're like, God damn. Like you said, there's a point, there were certain girls I was looking at when I graduated uni. And okay, I won't say like NYC. Okay, perfect. If you look down, okay, like my NYC when I came to Nigeria now I'm fresh out. Whatever I did in England doesn't even matter again. Now is who you are. Yes, you have small clout. You are that guy in England, but you did Niger, right? So even then, the kind of girls I'm always around, they were still like fine, pretty girls and all that, but they were more cool and all that. But then I used to look. It sounds so funny. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I remember when I first came back, I'll look at all the model chicks, right? All the influencer girls, all that. I'm like, how am I going to get these girls and all that? Now, it sounds funny to say because what I'm going to say next will make it make sense. Now, at the time, it's not like consciously I'm chasing them and all that. It was just like an ego thing. Because mind you, at this time, I have a girl. So it's not like I'm saying it and chasing them.
Yeah.
I have a girl, so it's like, but I'm just looking in Nige and like what I want to do and what I want to start. So I'm now fresh out. I've not done any events in Nige. I'm seeing all the people, all the men, all the big men that have their money, all the big men going around, all the fine women just going around. I'm just like, nah. When I glow up, like when I get this glow up again, this is going to be me. Fast forward a year later, and it was a year later because EMG, that's why I started my events company.
Yeah.
Now I'm in it. Boy, that confidence that came out, you could tell I had girls all around me and shit, but the thing is not like I'm messing with all these girls and all that, but I had every bad bee in Lagos, at least is a millennial or Gen Z around me at all my parties. They all know me, so my confidence, you can't tell me shit. When men are coming up to me, how do you know that, babe? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I won't shake. You know how some guys you go say, hey, yes sir. At first I said, wait. Oh, I know her like this. No, this if I could talk to her for you if you want.
So wait, I have a quick one. So do you think you had any I don't want to say, okay, well, the word is triggering. So did you have any triggering experiences that made your glow up like come at the time that it's like, no, this thing that happened today, oh, God forbid, I don't want to be in this situation again. Okay, so share us a few.
I'm going to start with my top 3 because there's a lot. Second year of university, I'll never forget my older cousins taking me out in London. We go to this mad club in London. He's with a whole bunch of older girls and all that. Now, I feel like I've glowed up because I've, gone a little older, feeling myself and all that. We enter the club. We're having a good time. Now, one of the older girls that's with him, beautiful, beautiful girl like this. Even all my older cousins were trying to move to her. She wasn't agreeing and all that, chilled. But me and her started talking, conversation. And we got along very well. At the club, we drinking, we dancing together the whole night. Even all my older brothers and older cousins like, how the hell is this guy? Like, even me, it shocked me. I can't lie to you, Shah, but I was happy. Obviously, go hold composure.
Yeah.
By the end of, and I've said this story actually.
Okay.
By the end of the night, when she said, can I get your number? She said, make sure you study hard there. I will never forget. I said that. So I said from that day, I said no woman, older, whatever, my age, will able to say that thing to me because there's a way I'm going to hold myself and carry myself. And bro, from that day, I changed. That's why I said my confidence now came up because rejection actually helps confidence. Yeah. It's like now, even me that I will say, okay, he's a good looking. Exactly. Even though he's a good looking guy, I feel get rejected though. So guess what? Now I can go for any girl I want. They don't reject me, so it's okay. Confidence day. Number 2, it day Nige. trying to see if I should say this story, but I'll
Go
say
ahead.
it.
Don't be shy. Share it first.
When I first started in Lagos, and every young guy needs to understand this, you need to start somewhere, because so many of you guys, and me too, I've been guilty of that too. Everybody wants to be at the top, especially in entertainment, doing parties. You want to be the guy that everybody know, girls know. But sometimes you got to start from the bottom, bro. Me, I was, for years, before I started this party stuff and all that, for years, I was the young boy that is just going to, not even like in a bad way. It was a good thing. I'm like the only young nigga that's entering the clubs with these babes. I see how my older brothers, they control bass, control everything. I don't got shit. I have nothing for myself. All the girls will just see me as the little bro every time. The little bro is so cute and all that. I don't have anything to show for myself, my brother. Nothing. And then I remember there was one incident. We went to sip. We are now entering the club and all that. So me, obviously, like I said, younger girls, they just enter. They let all of them go. Bros just held me like this. Heavy
One
hand
of
like
those
this.
ones.
Oh, pa! Wait. What business you get in here? Ha! And then they look, girls are looking at me and everything. I can't even call my cousins because why? I don't even have credit on my phone at that time. And oh my God, I remember the shame just standing outside until my cousins came to get me. After that, I think that was I've never even told my cousins this, but from that day, I stopped going out with them as much. I said, now I'm going to start making a name for myself. Hence why we're here today. And then finally, this was another glow of confidence that made me say, like, no girl can tell me something. Because I remember there was a point, like this was a year ago. So all these influencer girls and all that, you get what I'm saying? Me too, I just came back to Nigeria. They feel myself. So I had a glow up sort of post-COVID, because COVID, when I came back, I had nothing. Mm-hmm. So I'm heartbroken. Everybody's seeing myself like, I'm crying every day and stuff. And then obviously this last year, grind. Now we're back on top. Now we're single. We outside. And I remember there were a lot of girls before that did not answer me the year before, man. Like when I was going through my stuff and I was just looking. And then when I was now back on top, and then I just saw how girls were treated. Like I got way more attention. I got more girls hitting me up. I remember that was the day I just said, wow, so this is really what it is. And from there, that's when I've calmed down when it came to women. Because before, it's like, I'll be like, yeah, I'm trying to chase this girl. Yeah, I want the girls to notice me and all that. But then I remember I had a moment in my highest point where I felt like I was in my highest point, where I feel like all the girls like me and all that. And I'm like, this means nothing. Because I remembered exactly those same girls
at the time
a year ago. No, they answer me. And that glow up now, bro, that's a confidence I can't explain right now, bro. That's the beauty of it about it. Like, there's confidence now, like, there's no woman that can shake me. Except for, obviously, my babes.
I find it so fascinating that women are so tied to our glow up. It's annoying. I hate it.
No, but it's true.
I hate it, but it's unfortunate.
They're part of the, like, to me, I love women also. As much as I'm saying that, I love women motivate me, you get what I'm saying? Because even from school days, I remember, like, I used to be bad in school at one point. Do you know why I started getting good at school? Because all the fine girls will be getting good grades. You are the jokester of the class, they fail. They laugh at you.
Let me give you one small. You know that this this thing you just mentioned also happened to me in high school. So I mentioned in one of our episodes rather, that that I was in an all boys school in my first half of secondary school, and then I moved to a mixed school. Now I was taken out of that all boys school because I was failing. After once I got into my senior secondary, I was feeling bad. And like, it's worrisome when someone goes from doing really well in school to suddenly failing.
No, there's a problem.
So they took me out and then they took me to the mixed school. And of course, at this point, it was my first time being in the same class with girls. Like at that stage, that teenage stage of 14, 15, that's when people are still trying to explore, oh, do you like me? Do you not like me? So, still trying to figure out if people think you're good looking or not, stuff like that. Yeah. So, I was just okay. I was that guy who was just not ugly enough, just okay, right? So when it came time to like perform in school, so I was coming from bad grades into this new, bruh. When I tell you that my results from my first term, second best physics, maths, bruh. My dad just looked at the results and said, wow, suddenly changed. I said, that school must really be teaching. I said, yeah. The school is really,
to me, it's
bro, the girls were smart. So like, if you had to be relevant, you had to up your academics. Like, so
that's why I told my mom I couldn't go. When I first moved to Nigeria, they said, oh, you go to White Sands because that guy's there. I said, God forbid. I said, I promise you, I will fail. I told her I will fail that school because sometimes when you're around man them all days, like, sometimes just looking at the girls, like, this is just nice to look at. You know, you get what I'm saying? Man them don't motivate. Some, obviously, now, I look at some men that do very well, and like, yo, I want that for myself one day. But then, one
Of course,
body,
at that age,
yeah, but then you see somebody, especially now, even now at this age, women, they motivate me. I can't lie to you, even at this age too. You'll be seeing all those corporate bodies that are making money and still carrying herself a certain way. Even all these girls that are hustlers doing their stuff. What excuse do you have if she's making money and you want to go and meet her?
Yeah, true.
Why would I not glow up and go and make money?
So wait, this glow up stage now that you've had, would you say that is something you actually pictured? Like you see, let me give you an example. So, I personally feel like one of the glow ups is this podcast, right? Because it's definitely put me out there a lot more than I would have pictured and stuff. And you know, when I stood someone, in fact, I ran into. So I was at the car wash a couple of days ago, right? And now this is me. I'm at the car wash, t-shirts, trousers, slipper. I'm just going to wash my car. Like I'm not trying to. And then as I'm waiting for the car to finish getting washed, someone just looks at me and was like, "Sorry, bro, you're Murawa from Menisms, right?"
Yeah, no more.
So I was like, yeah, man. It's like, oh, yeah, I knew you looked familiar. I'm like, yeah. And then when it was time for me to get the car, like car was done and everything, so I was trying to go get my car. And then he comes and he says, "Oh, actually, I'm on the phone to someone who's also a big fan of your podcast and everything. She'd really like to talk to you. She's really excited, blah, blah, blah." And then, of course, I was like, sure, no problem. I spoke to the person on the phone for a few seconds, and then she was like, "Oh yes, please take a picture with my friend." So I took pictures, and then next thing he goes, "Have you gotten used to this?" And I'm like, no, I haven't. Like, it's because and that's what I was trying to get at. Like, even though you hope for a glow up, there's sometimes that your life glows up, but comes with a lot more than you would have really wanted with the glow up. Like now, I've never really been someone who wants all that attention or being stopped on the road, or stuff like that. So it's still a lot for me. The glow up is nice,
I've been
but
used to it. Because I've been,
well, yeah, for you've been outside, like you've been outside.
Even when people saw I did TikToks, when my TikTok started blowing up, and
right.
And when I came out, everybody's like, "Oh my god, I know yourself." It's like people don't realize, like, right before TikTok, I was the one doing all the parties in Lagos for all the people. So I'm used to knowing everybody already.
Yeah,
then even before that, in England, again, people knew me for my parties, people knew me for sports, people knew me for just knowing people. So for me, I've always just been in the limelight in a way, and then it's like, yeah, even I guess just growing up for me. Growing up as especially in America, like you are used to playing around people, like so I perform in front of people a lot, playing sports basically. So I've always been used to having lights, camera. Now at this age is different. Like obviously now, like I said before the podcast, I already was doing TikTok, people knew me for parties. Then I started doing Sunday Last Year. Then the podcast obviously has helped that people see me in a different light because obviously not a lot of people probably hear me talk as much because I joke a lot. Then it's like when I talk on serious stuff, that's like different. But I would say it is a glow up because obviously it is a show of the progression. Because, like I said, even before I've done things in my life that translate to this. Like I've started podcasts before, but obviously it went to a certain point. I've done TV shows, I've done this, that I've tried to do myself. But obviously now this is the most established one. So it's like a glow up. Like, oh, from the time you started doing stuff to now, there's growth in that, and even like I said, even for you now, vice versa, I'm sure there's stuff they'll see like from before the show now, even during the show, like the way you did stuff or the way you probably spoke about stuff or didn't talk as much, you probably talk a lot more now, so that I said, it's been a glow up. Definitely this has been a glow up now. Even me, I don't even feel like I fully glowed up. That's a funny thing. I feel like I'm just starting because not even in the forget the limelight, forget the attention. That's why I said forget the girls. This last 30 years, it was like there are certain things that were certain things I achieved, obviously, that were mentally what I wanted for. But like in terms of like the social glow up, I feel like I've had it.
Okay.
Now, obviously,
fair.
There's other glow ups I want for myself that haven't happened yet. That's what I now strive for, and it's like even glow up like mentally. Like I've started like definitely mentally maturing a lot more. That I'm seeing a lot more glow up in that. Physically too, like sometimes I'm big. Weight has been up and down because of stress, but there's a point when I get my gym. When I go back to, if I get just a little bigger than my master's year in football, is a wrap. Because that year
it's all over for everybody.
Athletic. So if I can get to that a little bigger, that's a glow up. Fashion wise, definitely can glow up. Definitely can glow up fashion wise. I can't lie to you. Is If you have something to say, say oh. Because they start fashion early.
Sorry, you said what now?
Because you started fashion early now.
Don't
Because I
mind
say
me, I'm just-
fashion
I'm
go up.
just
No
teasing.
problem.
I'm
Don't
just
worry.
teasing.
It's because I don't try. Let me try.
Fair enough.
Let me try. Let me not say that to Abel because go and embarrass me. But
So
yeah.
wait, I want to ask something really interesting now. So have you ever? So you know how we've talked about our glow ups now, right? So in the end, this talk of our glow up kind of centers our lives around ourselves. Like because we're thinking of our glow up, we're thinking about ourselves. Have you ever been in a situation where right when you feel your glow up is when somebody else also feels her glow up, and then you guys. So let me give an example. Let's say, you, because you know how we see that. You know how you mentioned earlier that after you glow up, there's some people who were not giving you attention before that are now trying to give you attention and whatnot. Have you ever had the flip side before where you glowed up, didn't give someone else attention, and then they glowed up, and then now you're like, oh.
I know how to navigate that. But
So how do you navigate that?
I know how to, but I don't. Thing about me is I'm somebody that's I think long term. I scout early. If I see potential
so
in
it's
you,
like this one, she's going to grow.
No,
I need to invest now.
I treat every girl the same. You get
Yeah.
cordial, like I hope you're good and all that. Then there's some girls you see a potential like. I can't lie. If this girl does this or changes this or just unlocks this
Everything
side,
will
it's
change.
a wrap.
It's a
You
wrap,
get.
yeah.
And then there's those sleepers. We like to say the sleepers like you didn't even
That you
expect
just
from nowhere. It's like, yo, this is the same babe, but thank God I used to treat this girl well. So now it's just like, hey, what up? How are you? Like, hey, But no, I mean, subconsciously, actually, I've dated. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. There's some girls, I have. Yeah, it's to me it's not an issue because I already treated them good, and then because I treat them good, and if it's a girl that glows up that I was already attracted to, like maybe I thought she was cute or something, we used to flirt, but nothing was serious happening. You now glow up to that stage, and we catch each other.
No, so what about the case where
I didn't show her attention, like I used to ignore her.
Maybe not ignore her, like be mean about it, but like
I wasn't serious.
No, she wants to. No, so let's say some people you find. You respectfully, attend to them because, like you said, you treat them equally. But the person was liking you.
Girl, yeah, that's happened.
The person was liking you. You know that in your mind you're like, I know you're not quite there, but sorry. And then they glow up and you're like, oh, you know what? You're now hoping that she doesn't remember that.
I probably wouldn't go back because we probably have developed a friendship by that point.
Okay.
Because that's what I said. I've been in that situation a number of times, but the girl's probably still cool as hell that we probably become friends. I had one girl. I think she's actually the reason why I just changed up because she was already pretty before, but she was just a little bigger and all that. Then by the time like a year or two passed, she was like a G. Like she was a G with all of us. By the time a year or two passed, she was going gym, changed her life. Bam, babe. It's like the fuck. Even us is like. The fuck? Like, it's the same, but we even would like insult her and joke with her, like, you, because you have, come on and all that, because I never saw that way. Then she's the one that actually still made the moves again and caught me at the right time.
Right.
Even me, I did panic small, like, but it's you that's the G. Like, you get what I'm saying? But at the same time, I can't look at you and not say, damn, like, what up? And, something happened. We stopped for a bit, but then it was like the post results of that were just not what I wanted. And I said from that day, if we've already established a friendship, I'm not going to cross that boundary. You get what I'm saying? What about you?
To be honest, I feel like I've always been on the receiving end. I've always been the one that has been ignored because my glow up was not complete.
What?
I'm always the one being ignored because my glow up was not complete. I don't think I've ever been with anyone who was showing me attention and they glowed up and I had to come back or circle around and be like, hey, sorry. I'm always the one in the less glow, if that makes any sense. Like of the two people that are interacting, I'm the one with the less glow. In most cases, that's how it's always been.
Less glow.
Yeah. So
she glowed up more than you.
Yeah. So she had her glow up before I would have my glow up. And so I don't have a situation where I glowed up before the person. Yeah, exactly. So I don't have. I'm always the one on the receiving end.
So in all these years, even no girl has glowed up better than you, Abba.
No, so they've glowed up better than me. That's my point. Okay, so you mean like with now? Well, maybe because after my glow up, the confidence is now like there's nobody in this life that can be so. Yeah, I can't feel.
But it be so glow up now.
Yeah, and they can, but it's not going
This
to
life
be.
is always changing now. But
Yeah, but I don't. So I guess I'm not in that place where, no matter the glow up, I would appreciate your glow up.
But it's not that
But
it's going to
it's
change
not that
your
it's gonna,
life.
yeah, because there are some guys that will shamelessly show that it's because of your glow up that they're coming back to. Like,
Oh no,
chase
no,
you.
hell no.
Yeah,
no,
so you
no
know what I'm talking
woman's
about. And
never
that's
been
that's
like
actually
that.
what
No,
a lot
no,
of men
no.
experience. So what I mean is the one where you guys. I mean, you made a very strong point, because sometimes you can see the potential, and I know what you mean. You can actually see it. You look and you just know.
Once you figure out
If she
your
just stops
formula,
wearing bogus clothes and she just a little bit of something that can work with her body type.
I never said that. That is all you, because
Why,
that
there's
was
nothing wrong with
very specific.
Well,
Wow.
to be fair, I do have a picture in my head
Wow.
of someone in particular. Yes,
Wow. Wow.
but it's the truth.
And like that.
And that's fashion. And I'm talking more on the fashion side, like someone wearing big clothes when they shouldn't be wearing big clothes. I'm like,
again, wow.
it's the truth.
Wow.
So-
I was talking more on your physical or even personal, because there's some girls that I can't lie to you. I gave them small hope, saying, hopefully this personality of yours changes, and because
Hey.
you are such an evil soul
You know what?
right
You know
now.
what?
But maybe the God in heaven that I also serve will come and change your
You know
heart.
what? You know what? Actually, you've brought up a very new angle, and I'm hoping I will get it. Personality glow up. Let's talk about that, just real quick. Okay. Yeah, I want us to just quickly touch on personality glow up, because people can glow up. You can look better. You can act nicer.
Oh man, I know there's so many subs coming, but let's have it.
But personality glow up
Yes.
is not something a lot of people experience.
A lot of, and that's, let me tell you right now, a lot of women don't want to hear this,
don't wanna
but you
hear it.
hear the truth.
They don't
Some
hear
girls have the ugliest personality that you're like, you have ruined just all this packaging.
Like, no matter
You-
the glow,
no matter what
the
glow up
physical
you
glow
have, I can never.
Nah, you are still a
Never
nasty,
in this
you're still a nasty person. You're still a nasty person.
Okay. I give,
Especially when you're guys. So the worst one is when, say somebody you knew maybe 8 years ago,
Yeah.
and the memory you have of them is that she was okay looking but nasty babe, personality wise, and then maybe like she's someone that you knew with friends, right? And now those friends are like, guy, have you seen that girl now? She's totally changed now. She's totally this now. And then you see her pictures and you're like, oh, okay. Then you notice a video where she's still displaying those old personalities and you're like, oh, you please.
no, exactly.
Like,
That's
yeah,
not,
like,
that's
no.
not going to maybe,
No.
I am petty in a interesting. Again, I'm not perfect myself, you understand. But there are some girls. I give you benefit of doubt. But if you've been that ugly, like your personality has been that ugly, I'm okay. Day your day, I day my day. Because I can't lie, that's one thing about me. Like, I'm sorry, that's why I said, fine girl, no, they mean anything to me because I care about who you are as a person. Like, I can walk out the street today and go and see. Trust me, fine girl, no day hard to find.
Yes,
but
yes,
your
it's not.
character, have you glowed up from that? And some don't.
Some even actually deter. They actually were good charactered people,
Yo,
and then they glow up and
those
it's
are the
just
ones that, you know
ugly.
what, those are the ones that break my heart the most, because it's like, where did you switch? You were actually such the most chilled, lovely girl that any guy would want. Now I don't know what peer pressure, I don't know what industry you did or whatever, that you just changed up. And it's fine, it's not for me to I know they control you, I just speak my mind from afar. But it's like, yo, some girls don't see that, bro. And we noticed it. Us as guys, we notice when, especially these Lagos streets now, there's some girls before they enter streets.
And then when they enter streets.
When they enter streets, because
This
one man
is
don't
killing
show
me.
you something, or one man don't give you attention now, you want to start coming with your little attitude. Okay, sweetheart, with your little attitude. Don't forget we knew you before that. And the thing is, people, they glow up, you understand? It's not that, because people say, do they owe you? No, of course not. It's not the way anything, but kindness no go kill anybody, you understand? Because you're on Lagos Street and man is giving you attention now, bro, sweetheart, trust me, he's giving you and 5 or 10 others that same attention. Don't get it twisted. And guess what? The day they drop you, because some girls don't realize you have an expiration date. And I'm not even trying to be harsh or anything. I'm telling you the honest truth, because they ain't gonna tell you this. It's when you're down in your room and they're not answering your phone calls again, and they're with another
Bro,
man
let
now.
me actually kill you with this. So have you ever had one of those, she's glowed up already, and now she no send your papa again. You understand? So she's now moving with the big dogs. No wala. All good. Everybody has their
I've
girl.
been there.
Then, I mean, once you guys will still chat every now and then, but you know it's not on the same level anymore because
She has moved up.
She's looking at you as a smaller
Yeah.
guy. No issues.
No
No
problem.
issues. Then she will now have one problem. Again, of course, not saying that this happens to all of them, but she'll have one problem. Could be abuse, could be anything, right? And then she chooses that you're the one she comes to for advice. Madam, don't forget you are bigger than me. I'm your small boy. Don't address me. Because I would love to help you. Why are you only coming to me
This
when
is so lovely and beautiful. This is coming from
like why are you coming to me now when you have a problem, as opposed to when I was saying, oh, let's just go hang out here, or you know what, I have this party, support me, or you know what, I have this event
You
coming
know what?
up. Are you gonna
I
show love?
realized something. You cannot dump. And you see, that's why I said that was my problem before. You see, I try to dump. You try and not dump, but give a lot of emotional support to certain girls that are not supposed to have that.
Yeah.
Which makes you feel like there's a level you two should have an understanding for. But like I said, unfortunately, in this, not even Lagos, life, some places in life, some women, they don't send you. And when the right guy comes calling in and buying in, they're going to him. And the funny thing is, if they were with you, you are probably the right guy in terms of personality, character, and all that. That's what they want. But that's what they want, you understand? But they're going to the nigga they need for the moment right now. And when they now see that guy's personality is hell, you think guys aren't keeping that in the back of their head the way you just left me?
Yeah.
Like,
you know, a question just like sprung up in my head now. Or not a question, actually a scenario. Or actually some sort of facts. Do you know that sometimes even guys, not just the women you're with, even the men you're with, don't actually want a glow up from you?
oh yeah, facts.
And
Facts.
And I think this is important because one thing about knowing the kind of friends or relationship,
especially in this Nigeria where
in this
everybody goes say we
Nigeria-
all started together now. No, and see the only
In
thing
this
I'll
Nigeria-
say to that is I learned that the hard way. One, I learned you can't take everybody with you, and number two is you got to still focus on your journey no matter what, man. You see, if you like say you don't want this for me, that's your own problem. Me, I go get them for myself. Like that's the only way you can think, because if you're so worried about everybody else now, which I've been guilty, that I said mentally it fucked me up at one point, because it's like I was trying to do everything for everybody, and human beings were human beings. Everybody's still going to think of themselves first, right? And it's a blessing when you have other people that are willing to help you in your dream and your journey, and they want to be part of that. But then you also have to also look out for the people that they say they support, but only support to a certain point, in terms of when you start getting ahead of them now, the energy starts to shift now and all. And my own is, everybody has a time and a place for everything. It's like there was a quote one of my partner Lawal now said. He now said, like, sometimes he said that his OG now told him that sometimes you guys be number 2, you guys be number 3, you guys be number 4, you guys be number 5 and all. And unfortunately, with the social media era we're in now, everybody wants. That's why I said that thing about guys wanting to be the guy. Even now, people will see me and think I'm the guy and all that. I'm a guy to a certain field, but trust me, I did number 2, number 3, number 4 in a lot of things you guys don't see, which I don't mind, because me, I personally don't want to be the guy every time. I know who I am as a guy, but I can still look at others like, oh, you're doing. Why would I not want my guys to be successful? Because guess what? We're all successful guys. If you do this thing, if you run this thing, if you run this thing. If 4 years ago we were all like, even one of my guys, he said it, bro. My God. Guy, remember the kind of conversations we were having 2-3 years ago? And 2-3 years ago, we were looking, well, bro, where we go find 100K? Where we go find 50K? And all that. Yeah. Now the kind of conversation different, where if they don't drop this much, I ain't talking. If you ain't bringing this kind of check, and it's like, even that kind of glow up too. Look, that's a glow up. You and him were just like, damn. Couldn't imagine this.
You know the funny thing is sometimes you have to break off some friendships for some glow-ups delay, because you're stringing that friend along, that, because you just mentioned something that was very important to this conversation, and that had to do with Nigerians and making comments, criticism. Like constructive criticism is nice.
Yeah,
they're telling you, this is nice, but we think you can try this and try this. Nigerians know how to badmouth things more than anything,
bruh.
You're doing podcast, go just talk up and down. Or fashion, This one you're wearing color. Who wears color? Like, because let me tell you, when I started my fashion business, right, I was telling everybody that because I kept getting people say, "Oh, I've never seen you in a black suit." Currently, right now, I don't own a black suit. If I had to wear a black suit for an event, I have to make one.
Fair.
Because for me, I don't like colors that are easy. I like to run away from them. I would still wear them. Do you understand? But I would like to, if for me to show like my interest in fashion, I wear the colors that people believe you can never look good in that.
Fair.
Do you get it? So that's what kind of drove my starting of the fashion business. And when I first started, I know how many people were telling me, this one you're wearing pink suits. Just anybody. But you see, if I kept listening to those, I would never have had that breakthrough. I would never have had that. Like, my globe would have just been hanging. But I had to just cut off those sides of whatever friendships those were and just proceed with that. And a lot of Nigeria, this is me saying it because people that are listening need to understand that the concept of globe is not always about just waiting for a time. Sometimes you have to be very vigilant about the people you have around you.
It's like taking an opportunity instead of waiting sometimes. Sometimes
Exactly.
you have to take an opportunity that's in front of you. Like, I got to graduate from this
point, exactly,
to go to this. And
exactly.
That's the beauty. And the thing is, it's life. Like, it doesn't mean you cut off friends that are doing this, you understand? But you separate yourself. That's the word.
Yeah.
You separate yourself so you can focus on your journey. But if there are people that still support you, still fuck with them and all that. Like, I'm not saying I still fuck with like a lot of my friendships are because of people I've been with for years. Like, that's why people say, how do you know people? Like, same person used to come to my parties this year, same person that supported me this year. Yeah. So that was actually a very, very valid point you brought up, bro. But we're gonna end it like that.
Yep.
You guys, but then before we go away, like I say, this is just a short break we're about to take as this is the season finale. We're going to be doing a few different things, a few planning sessions for the next season of Menisms, and also us as individuals, us as we're growing our business. Mm-hmm. So again, make sure you still go back. If you've not watched a lot of our other episodes, go and watch them so you start to understand the feel of Menisms.
Do you have a favorite episode? Let's start with that.
I can't lie. No, the episode with the cross episode we did with
Low-key
relatable was funny.
Yeah,
just because
I
literally just come back from tour, and when that girl said, "You want tour?" I was just like, what the fuck? Like, what's wrong with you? And it was just funny because it was the reaction from so many girls that were just like this: "You were on tour, you were on tour," and it's just like, yeah, but still, must you all just like? So that was fun. What about you?
Yeah. So I think that was also one of my favorite episodes because that episode, well, no, I'll say even our season 1 finale was also pretty dope. That's the one where we heard some crazy ass.
Oh yeah. That was
some crazy ass experiences.
Yeah,
so
shout out to you, ladies.
Some crazy experiences. We also have some really good episodes this season.
We had a few actually.
The Daniel F. Young one, definitely one of my tops. The GRV one, definitely.
GRV was amazing. Donna one, Toby
Bakari.
Yeah. So many other people that have been on. No, thank you guys.
Yeah.
It's actually been a very long season. So now that you think about it, we've tried. Like we've had, and the thing is, we still have not had everybody on because so many people hit us up every time they want to be on the pod. Even me, I have so many of the celeb friends, as you say. Bro, I'm ready to come on. But we are going to get you guys on as we progress. But in saying all that, guys, I want to say thank you guys for supporting us on Menisms. Thank you guys for listening to us. Again, it's not easy. How many meals they do this thing? Podcast talk. Again, just man on man. Like, it's not easy, you understand? So continue to support us in everything that we do. At least for me, because this guy, if we have to remind him to do self-plug every time, it makes no sense. But make sure you guys go and support Sunday at Ilashe. Does your boyfriend know you are there? The biggest beach party in Lagos, Nigeria. In Nigeria as a whole. Go to it. Come and experience it. Let us take care of you. You understand? I mean, what about you? You have any self-plugs?
I'll just now plug. So new merch. We're trying to put up new merch for the Menisms. So you're going to be seeing...
Camera.
Going to be seeing...
So you women see it. So you women can see it. Boom.
Yeah. So we're going to be having a few.
I know fear you
merch items.
I say it now. I know
rolling out in the next couple of months. So yeah. So everybody be on the lookout. We're gonna have. Just check the Menisms page. We're gonna have links to purchase new merch.
Yes, so definitely go buy the new merch. Go buy the shirts that are out. It's very, very, very affordable. We got many, got different sizes,
different prints.
If you want, in
different
fact,
coats.
tell us what coat you want, self. We'll go and even make more for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yes, until next time, guys. Thank you for rocking with us. Thank you for supporting us. I'm Michael Scenario,
and I'm Muro.
and we will see you guys next season on the Men. We will see how person will end season. Jesus, we will see you next time on Menisms.
On Menisms.